and welcome to the Intercultural Voices Film Festival. We are so happy you're here to celebrate independent cinema and the incredible storytellers who bring these films to life. In our programs, you will experience stories of migration, identity, resilience, family, belonging, and the many ways cinema help us better understand one another across cultures. My name is Valentina Latina, originally from Bogota, Colombia, based in Los Angeles for 16 years now. A theater lover, a voiceover lover, dubbing lover. That's what I do every day. And I'm proud to have this as a full-time job, but also as a dream as a Latina to keep building step by step and every day supporting each other as Javier is making this film festival happen. I think as actors, producers, directors, this is the way. We need to help each other. We need to build our own community. So thank you again for being here. And we hope you enjoyed today's program, discover new voices, and live inspired by the stories you will experience. Right after the whole program, we are going to have a Q&A, so if you can stay for a little bit more and just have a chit chat right after. So thank you again. Let's add what film you're representing, young lady.
Hi, my name is Asha Sharon. I produced Reminisce, and I acted in it. My director, Leslie Morris, who is not coming up here. So, she's such a lovely director.
My name is Alessandro Gentile. I'm the director of Boundless Borders.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Rufino Romero. I'm representing Healing Sunset. I wrote, directed, and executive produced with Brittany Nicholas, who is my other executive producer for Healing Sunset.
Very good. Wow, all of them, very nice. Healing Sunset, what inspired this story? Where is it coming from?
In Latin culture, I grew up in Los Angeles in Latin culture. I've noticed that a lot of friends and family members who grow up in Latin culture have a lot of generational trauma and the inability to process emotions, and more of anything, loss. We have Dia de los Muertos that helps us process, but that's only a piece of time in the whole year. And so I was reading Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, and a handful of his other books, and I thought it was just a nice way to introduce Toltec knowledge for self-healing, for men, for women, for self-love, and I was going through my own journey of learning about myself, how to process trauma, and also try to spread that to family and friends, and so that's what inspired the film, and I just thought it was a great way to just put all that information and experience and put it in the film. And I will say I actually showed the film to someone who lost their husband. And she told me, and I showed her the film, she was crying, she told me that's what got her through losing her husband, was remembering, being grateful that he was shared with her. And that no one belongs to anyone, and so it was a privilege, and it allowed her to flip the idea of loss into being grateful. And so yeah.
Do you think this is the message that you want the audience to take away from this film?
That's one of them. The main one is to be grateful for everything. Your friends, your family, a smile, the sun, grass. I think a lot of times, especially living in the city, we forget, wait a second, my friend's here 30 minutes ago, I don't talk to her, I should go see her, my friend's close, or,
Exactly.
you know, oh, there's a film festival, I should go to the film festival, and it's so many beautiful things. And I think when we change our minds into being grateful, we'll start seeing more things to be grateful. It makes more of a happier life, especially in the city, and so, yeah, I think the main message is just to have a better life in general, and to help with the self-love, to help with healing, to help with trauma, to help friends who are going through difficult times, or even yourself, or if you feel stagnant or depressed, or you lost someone, a loved one, a grandmother, breaking up, your career's not going where you think it is, or just anything, I think if you change your perception to being grateful, everything will just get better.
Well done, very well done. Reminisce, where is inspired by, and what is that message that you think audience is taking away?
Reminisce was loosely inspired by my own life. So I'm in an interracial marriage, and I'm married to someone who's 10 years older, which doesn't seem like a lot, it's just a decade, but we had a lot of problems actually when we were getting together from both sides of the family. And that just made me realize that even right now in modern day, 10 years is too much, but there are couples that fall in love that are like, 25, 30 years apart, and there's a lot of judgment and I think societal taboo. It's just taboo, I think, to be with someone that's significantly older than you. And so my own story, my grandmother, my grandfather had an age gap, and they met in a student tutor capacity and were married for a very long time. And so I think both of those things combined just made me realize that I wanted to write this story and just exaggerate it for cinema. And so it's a proof of concept. It's meant to be a feature. So the idea is that that's the first part of where the feature starts. And in terms of the message, really the goal for me with this is to try and encourage people to love without judgment, and whatever relationship, whoever you choose to love, to feel free to love truly freely and not be worried about what people are saying or what people are thinking, because it's really just about the two people that are in that relationship. Nothing else should matter.
Very nice. Tell us about your inspiration and what was the biggest challenge during the production?
Yeah, so I'm here. I wanted to give kudos to my producing partner here, Heather Flores, also the producer of the film, and some filmmaker friends here as well. Boundless Borders kind of fell out of nowhere. We started a production company like 3-4 years ago, and we referred to a producer, Mina Singhal, who's in the film, and she came to us with this idea that she wanted to do this story, this film about this individual that she became really good friends with, was her his mentor and everything. So and wanted to follow his journey in the whole education process, from being an immigrant to coming to the United States and just going through that whole process. The challenging part was that we were, once we got the job, to direct the film and produce it, we were on a plane to Guatemala in literally 2 weeks. So it was that fast. So there's no script, it's all unscripted documentary filmmaking. So that's not easy. You don't have there's no guide. I had just met him. He came to the office downtown. We met and we clicked, all of us, and the subject picture and the producer, and we were off to the races literally weeks later. And but it was really nice to kind of go on the journey with Victor, to go back home, and it's something they almost pulled it from production because of cost. But I felt like it was really important for us. I pushed for it. I felt like it was really important to go back to where he actually comes from and actually experience the process. And the great thing about having these small 4K cameras is that you can shoot anywhere. Or shoot in the airport, on a plane. You saw that, just shooting all over the place. Nobody was saying anything to us. It was awesome. So stealing shots is great, but yeah. So but I think it's really important to know that foreign students really elevate our country. So I don't think it's now there's a lot of fear. There's ICE. There's a lot of fear out there. They're doing raids on campuses now. So it's really horrible that they don't feel comfortable going and do that. But I realized that from the film, what I learned was that anybody with an ID can go onto a campus and start learning English. I had no idea it was that easy. but they don't have, there's a disconnect. There's no one telling them where to go. He just kind of stumbled around on campus and found someone that spoke Spanish and was able to say, hey, I want to enroll. Okay, just bring an ID, done. So that's it, just paperwork and you're there. But there's no connection there between the schools and foreign students that actually want to come here to actually better their life and just have an education. So that's it.
So how long were you shooting for?
Yeah, so this film is actually the least amount of footage I've ever shot to create a feature. So that was really difficult. Yeah, so we were only there for, what was that, like four days maybe, 4 or 5 days. You know, one of those is kind of, when we go and shoot a project, a documentary, like we like to hang out and just be like, hey, just be present with the individual and really get to know them and just really, you know, connect. And then we started filming, but yeah, we're literally, I think when we landed the next morning, yeah, we were off into the jungle. And we did a lot of stuff with his, you know, where his mom grew up and all that, and filmed a lot of footage, you know, over there. It was really beautiful and saw a volcano erupt and everything. It's crazy. And then we came back and we're like, how do we, you know, we shot in Long Beach for like 3 days. So literally we shot probably 7 days. And so then I had to magically string out a story out of all that. And it was, what saved it, because there's so much information, right? Of course, there's a lot of reading, so I'm glad, hopefully it was okay, not too torturous for you guys, but it's a lot of really important information. But it was the aerials. I really leaned into my drone operator that we found locally there in Guatemala. I really leaned into him and just had him overshoot and like, and that's what saved the film, really. Because you're seeing this information, but you're seeing a beautiful, like, you know, you're seeing the countryside, right, from the sky. So I think that really saved the narrative and made it a little more enjoyable to watch and read. So that's all.
Very well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's hear about your film. What was the biggest challenge?
Gosh. I think the challenge with any film often comes down to budget. And I think, you know, and that's, I know everybody laughs about that because it's true. And we had 2 days to shoot this, and I remember our lovely director, Leslie, was like, woo, 2 days, and it was a lot, but we did it. We had an incredible crew, and Leslie did such a great job rehearsing with all of the cast and getting us where we needed to be. So when we were on set, it was just go, go, go. And you know, we did it. It was 2 very kind of packed days, but could we have had a third day? Sure.
Would have been better with 3.
I know. I couldn't swing it. But yes. But we did our best and we're proud of what came out of it.
What else do you remark as what teach you this film, the whole process?
Like something that I took away from it?
Yes.
So I think something that I learned was so oftentimes when I write, I write very, what's the word? I'm a minimalist writer. So I don't write a lot of, you know, stage direction and things like that, because in my mind, the director comes on and he or she brings that world in. And so I don't often like really flesh out my transition sequences. I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, we're cutting to the next scene, let's move on, you know, and that's just the way my brain works. And so when Leslie came on, I had a montage scene that was very quick, and she ended up making that a bigger thing than it was. And it really added a beautiful dimension to the film, like she really built that world. And I think in hindsight, like I could have kind of, if I had already written it and things like that, certain things would have been easier or smoother of a process versus like on the day of, we're like, let's also try this, you know? So I think that's probably what I learned just as a writer, that I need to just like think of those sequences more and not ignore them, or I don't want to say ignore them, but not be as quick with moving on to those like smaller sequences.
Would you like to share some of the challenges for Hidden Sunset that happened?
Brittany? I always say this, so Brittany and Nicholas, we've been friends for almost 12 years, and this is our first project. We worked together as an executive producer. She's the mama bear. Like this wouldn't have been created without her. I always say that because she's intelligent, you know, she's wise, she's patient with me as a friend. I'm more of a free spirit and a creative, and I have so many ideas, and she's like, okay, yeah, bring them back here. We can do 1 or 2, that's it. We can't do all 20, right? And so she really does help a lot. So when it comes to challenges, I was telling Ashna, that I actually have the opposite. I write a lot. I wrote this. I had 38 pages, and this was my friends told me after a while, dude, you gotta cut it down. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So like, how many? Like almost everything. I'm like, what? Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was predominantly an actor as opposed to a writer, and so with Brittany helping me. And also our lead actress, Jumana as well, she reviewed the scripts and the ideas, and the challenge was to cut it to 15 pages. And that was really difficult. And personally me as Rufino, I don't like it. I would have preferred the 38 pages. The challenge was to cut so many ideas. We actually have the original footage, film was 22 minutes. And there's a scene where actually Jumana gives, her character Inti gives a poem in the beginning. And then there's another scene where there's, she's almost like a ghost, but it was also kind of misleading. Already giving it away to people like, oh, she passed away. But she kind of nudges him to sing to this little girl who's crying. And then my character plays a song for a little girl, but she taught him that song. And that was in the original 22 minutes. But then Brittany, Nicholas, and then one of my other producers are like, you gotta cut it, dude. I'm like, no, we can't cut that. There's singing. I made this song. Like I wrote this. Like the little girl was my niece. I told her she was gonna be in the film. Like I gotta cut all that. Like, yeah, you gotta cut it. So it's cutting, editing, and making it shorter.
Tell us about you. What's next as a filmmaker?
As a filmmaker, I also do dubbing, and so I do a lot of voiceovers and dubbing. I do the dubbing and English voice for a Colombian Netflix TV show called Medusa. The first season is already out, and we're working on the second season.
Cool, man.
I'm not supposed to say that, but you guys, I signed the NDA about her. So I'm working on that, and I'm also coming out on 2 TV shows. One called Joseph of Egypt that will come out on Amazon Prime. And another one called Forever that's on Netflix. So that, and I also have a proof of concept that I'm working with my EP, and just making more films and just try to create more stories for everyone to go along with the challenges, things, and trying to create as much stories that's diverse. Not one, like on our crew we had everyone from around the world, from different languages, and it's the challenge of, and for leads as a filmmaker to just create as much diverse work and include as many diverse people as possible when working and creating something.
Very nice. What is next for you? And tell us a little bit about your perspective on festivals. This kind of festival, Intercultural Voices, any other festival, what's your perspective?
I'm really grateful to Javier for screening Reminisce as part of Intercultural Voices Film Festival, so thank you. I think, honestly, a film festival like this, to me, is such a beautiful thing because we really want to be able to encourage and promote diverse and inclusive voices. That's something that's really big for me in every project I write, is to try and even whether it's bringing on not just cast, but also crew, and just having them be from all walks of life, just to be a reflection of like the beautiful parts of the world we live in, right? Like that's what makes it so beautiful. And I think festivals in general are a great way to meet people. They're always I personally, my favorite part is actually watching other people's films because I really get to see people's creativity and what they do and whatever, budget or constraints, their own challenges that they had and how they overcame them. And in terms of what's next, I have 2 projects in post, and I have another proof of concept that's currently in the circuit that's about to get very busy, called Eggnog, and I'm in pre-production for my first feature that I'm going to create.
That was easy. Yes.
So right now, Heather and I are co-directing a documentary called 1984 LA Olympic Murals that are now. So it's on the 1984 Olympic murals that were painted for the first Olympics here in Los Angeles, and they've been defaced by graffiti and tagging. So it's kind of sad. It's something we both connected on, and we're at the finish line to complete the film, and we're partnered with PBS, which is really cool. So that's we're going to be pushing that through next year. So so hopefully by next summer we'll have that released and out. And then we're developing 3 other narrative films that we're in development, and also going into production with one of them. So we're moving along, and then also doing bids here and there, right? Do you want to add any of that?
Which part?
Yeah.
We have 3 more
Come
documents.
on. Yeah. Talk about the murals, man. Come on.
I'm going to encourage everyone to don't hold the mic. When we started our production company, our crew, which I love, we have a solid crew that we're able to make so many films because we're solid. There's a flow and harmony, right? Yeah. Super important, right? And pay them right away. I was laughed at when I was like, no, we're going to be making movies. We're going to bust out like at least 2 a year, and this and that. And I was laughed at. Okay. And I said, yes, we are, because we're getting old and we need to bust our ass because, we have to catch up. No, that's not why, but yeah. kind of. But then now it's crazy because you're in the middle of productions of all these films, and then you have funding for one, so okay, that gets attention. Then you go to the other one because that one, So, just keep juggling and keep doing it. In documentaries, narrative, it's hard because everybody changes, right? Yeah. Like the look changes, this and that, like life happens. But if you're doing documentaries, which I'm going to encourage, it's constantly spinning plates, because even with money, you have to wait. Like, when are they going to do this and when are they going to do that? But doing the murals is something very personal. With these LA murals, it's a cultural heritage that was given to all of us. And so hopefully in this film, when you see it, because you will somehow, you'll appreciate the work that's around us and see that these are actual real artists that make it, and it's for everybody. But yeah, I said too much.
No, it's
hogging the mic and shit.
The mic on the audience, because I'm gonna ask people in the audience.
Oh, where's the Korean? Was that I love that music video.
Oh, you see the previous program.
Gosh, that was awesome.
Javier, thank you for having us too, man. Javier, thank you for having us here. I think it's really important to have a film festival that focuses on multicultural, because we're all mixed, man.
Mixed, yes. Anyone has questions for the filmmakers from the audience?
Compliments.
Any of you have any questions?
Say something.
Investors on this side.
Investors.
No questions? Well, I want to say thank you to all of you for submitting your film, for sharing your films with us. This is really, really important. And this festival is new. This is the second edition, but it's growing up nicely. It's getting bigger and better every year. So this is a big challenge, and this is a community. Some of the filmmakers that we have here in this festival came last year. So I really hope to see your new films. And it's becoming like a family. We have more plans for the Intercultural Voices Film Festival, not just a film festival, but probably a distribution platform, a production between the people that get together here. So a lot of things are happening, so I really appreciate that you're here, and hope to see you again in the next edition.